Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about manifestation, how I manifested my first luxury apartment within only 3 months. I know you guys are probably like 3 months impossible, but yes, I manifested this apartment in 3 months. If you want to know how to manifest your first apartment, your first luxury apartment, your first house, manifest your first place in general, then stay tuned.
They got me feeling like I'm the GOAT. They asking me for some pictures and I ain't even blow. I'm on my way to the top like I can't be below. They telling me that I'm crazy like I ain't even know. Hit him with a G33 and now he's seeing fun. One me, two goons.
Okay, so this video is strictly on manifestation. Manifesting your first place, whether it's luxury or not, whether it's apartment or not, whether it's a house or not, whatever you want to move into, I'm gonna tell you how to manifest. So I wrote down some stuff on my little notebook, and I wanted to share some of the stuff that I've written down that really helped me set my goals to get this apartment. We're gonna do a little backstory. I was in my last apartment for probably about a year and a half. It was wonderful, it was great. It had bugs. It had bugs since I moved in, so that was a problem for me, so I needed to get out. I really dealt with the apartment for probably about a year and a half to when I was like, enough is enough. So literally in October, I started looking for apartments. I had no extra money. I had 2 jobs, but I was literally catching up on stuff that I haven't paid or stuff that need to be paid because I had lost a job prior and I finally had got a second job. So in October, I was like, okay, I have to move. I have to get out of here. What am I gonna do? First of all, what I first did was I looked at other apartments. I calculated my pay. So I calculated the pay with both of my jobs and including YouTube. And so that gave me what kind of ranges that I need to be looking at. Now, when you are looking at stuff, you have to be realistic. Yeah, you may want some things, but you have to be realistic with yourself. So I was looking at this and then I was looking at that, but some of the stuff that I was looking at was not realistic enough for me. Like the $1,600 apartments, the $1,900 apartments, that was not realistic enough for me and my budget and my pay. Even though I worked basically 3 jobs, it was not going to work out, and it just would have put me in a struggling situation. What you need to do first is be realistic with yourself. Write down how much you make, write down how many hours you do, and calculate what you make monthly and deduct the taxes. Like the taxes that they take off of your pay stub, you need to write down your paychecks, what your paychecks look like after they take out taxes, benefits, all that. So write that down and then start calculating what you need to calculate. Calculate car note, calculate your phone bill, any other bills that you have, insurance, any other bills that you have, calculate it and subtract it from your both pay stubs. So get your pay stub, your first pay stub of the month. You know, if you get paid every 2 weeks, get that first pay stub, write down how much that pay stub was, of course, after taxes. Then your next pay stub at the end of the month, add how much that was. Now, this is what 40 hours full time, okay? You write that down, everything after taxes, and then you start subtracting the bills that you already have. After you subtract the bills that you already have, then you can see what you could kind of play with and move around with. Now, to avoid to be struggling or living paycheck to paycheck, what you can do is you can save a certain amount of money before you move. Now what I did, I saved, before I moved, I saved just enough for me to move. So some people may want to save $10,000, $5,000, whatever the case may be. Some people want a big cushion before they move, depending on your living situation, okay? First, you have to be realistic with yourself. Can I pay this bill? All right, I can't pay that. Let me find something a little bit lower. Okay, I can't pay that. Let me find something a little bit lower. I ended up choosing an apartment that cost me $1,449 a month. It includes everything, including my Wi-Fi. So that's why I chose where I chose. And parking. So based on your pay and your needs, calculate your rent and all your other bills and see if you will be able to maintain paying that rent every month. Now, don't get discouraged. If you're not able to maintain that rent every month based off of paycheck to paycheck in worst case scenarios, then you can save 5 months ahead. So say your rent, the apartment that you're looking at is $1,000. Save $5,000 before you move into that apartment. That's so when you move into that apartment and say you lose your job, or you get sick and you're not able to work and your job doesn't do sick days or whatever the case may be, you'll still have that $5,000 of cushion to use, so you're not out and just not paying rent and get evicted. Does that make sense? Y'all let me know in the comment section if that makes sense. So some people move just to move, like just move, like they'll deal with it when the problems come. They'll deal with it. It is what it is. Some people make a big cushion for themselves before they move. Depending on your situation, some people will rather go ahead and go for it and struggle, depending on what happens in their life. And some people will rather save a big cushion and go ahead then move. Now, based on me, I had to go. So I had to do what I had to do. I saved enough for the rent, and I saved enough for the deposit, and I saved enough for my bills for that month. Other than that, I was going to work my way up and, you know, live paycheck to paycheck until I'm in a comfortable situation, because I had to move to where I was at. If you guys have been watching my vlogs, you've seen you've seen the bugs, and you've seen the neighbors that I've been talking about. I had to get out that situation before I had got evicted based on my neighbors complaining about my dogs, which didn't bark. So in that situation, I had to save. I had to work those 3 months, work my butt off, and have enough money to move into this apartment. That's why I said, based on your situation, you can either save 5 months ahead and then move, or you just do what you gotta do and just save for that deposit, that first month's rent, and do what you gotta do. It all depends on you as a person and what you got going on in your life. You may be in an abusive relationship and you just need to get out. You gotta do what you gotta do. You may be with family that's trying to kick you out or whatever the case may be, and you gotta do what you gotta do. So in that case, what I did was I started picking up shifts. I started working on my days off. I started doing more YouTube videos. I started putting myself in a better place financially by working my butt off to get to where I needed to be, because I know I needed to have this money. So I set up my move-in date to where, hey, Denaya, you're gonna have this money on this day. So that's what I did. I gave myself 3 months to work up to having all the money that I need to have. I spent over $3,000 moving into this apartment. I paid the $1,400 rent, I paid the $1,400 deposit, and I also paid my way to move in. I had to pay to move in. I had to use trucks, I had to use a whole bunch of gas, this and that and third. I had to clean everything before I came into this apartment so I didn't bring bugs. So I spent a whole bunch of money in that. So, and then I had lost my job. So that's why I said it depends on your situation and what you're doing in your life and what's going on for your life for you to move a certain way. So I wasn't expecting to move my job, but I'm still able to pay my bills because I still have a job. It's not like I don't have a job. I still have a job. I just don't have 2 jobs, okay? So be realistic and prepare for the worst and do what you have to do and move accordingly. Moving accordingly means pick up shifts when you need to, find another job if you have to, or find a side hustle. Do what you have to do to get what you want. You're not gonna get what you want by sharing things on Facebook. And y'all already know what I'm talking about. People share, oh, I want this new car. Share this if you get if you want a new car, or share this and you will get a new car, or share this, you will get a new apartment, share this, you'll get that new place. Yeah, you can share and you can manifest mentally, but it's not gonna click if you're not putting in the work. Yes, people manifest mentally by sharing stuff or saying stuff and speaking it into existence, which is good. You can do that, that helps. But if you're not putting into work, and manifesting and getting to where you need to be, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna show, and you're gonna get frustrated because you're gonna feel like you're manifesting by saying it and sharing it and probably even writing it down, making all these vision boards and stuff like that. But it's not gonna work if you're not putting in the work. You have to put in the work. You gotta pull them shifts. You gotta do your side hustle. Whatever you do to make money, you gotta do what you gotta do to get to where you want to be. Now, what I mean was, whatever you do, whatever you do to make money. Like if you do hair, squeeze in a couple more heads. If you work at a grocery store, squeeze in a couple more hours, a little bit of overtime. If you work at fast food, squeeze in a little bit of overtime. If you do nails, squeeze in another person. You do a little extra shift, add in squeeze in appointments, and you can add extra charges. Do what you have to do to get what you want. Nothing is going to work just by saying it. It's gonna click mentally, like I said, but it's not gonna physically do the work for you. You have to do the work and do what you have to do to get to where you want to be. So you gotta be realistic. You gotta put in the work. Like, put in the work. When I say y'all, I was going from one job, working probably like 8-9 hours, and then going straight to the next job, and then posting on YouTube. I was putting in work. That's why I was barely posting, because I was trying to set myself up for success, to where I can give y'all bomb, beautiful, nice back-to-back videos when I finally move in my place. That's just how I set it up. So you have to put in the work. Set the goals. Now, we're coming with being realistic, coming with we're actually putting in the work and working hard. Then you can start setting your goals. Okay, I want this by this, I want this by this, and I want this by this. What I mean by that is I started to visualize my paychecks. It's like, okay, I'm gonna work these hours. I planned my hours ahead of time. So I was like, okay, my check should be $200 over. Okay, my check should be $300 over. Okay, I should have an extra $150 right here, an extra this right here. Okay, YouTube is gonna bring this in right here. You have to set goals on what you're trying to do. Okay, I'm trying to make $1,300 this paycheck. Okay, I'm trying to make $1,400, $1,500 this paycheck. You got to start setting goals. Okay, I want this for my apartment. I want that for my apartment. I started buying stuff slowly. I bought my knife set. I bought some soap dispensers. I bought stuff that was really going to push me to get this apartment. I bought pictures. I bought a whole bunch of stuff that was just like, okay, Denai, you're getting there. Okay, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get to where you want to be. And I set up little things just so my mindset, like, you're almost there. You're about to hit your goal. You're really about to move in. So you have to set goals for yourself, and I would calculate your hours so you know where you're gonna be at that paycheck, so you know what to do for the next paycheck, and so on and so forth. Save. So with that being said, you gotta save. I haven't went out in I don't know how long. You gotta save. Every time somebody wanted me to come out, I'm saving. Instead of getting fast food, I got groceries and made food at the house. There was one point where I acted like I didn't have no money. I had $2,000+ in my savings, and I was still eating noodles and making bologna sandwiches because I was at a goal to where I was at a point where I was like, I'm going to make this goal. I'm going to save this money to get to where I want to be. As long as I'm still eating, as long as my puppies still got their food, it's fine. I was good. I just want to make my goal. So I'm just being real with y'all on what you have to do, and some things you might have to sacrifice. I stopped eating out. You know, I love my seafood bowls. I stopped doing that. I stopped going to McDonald's. I love my chickens. I love my Whoppers with cheese and a medium fry and a Sprite. I love that. But I really wanted my own bigger, like, luxurious space. To get this space, I just cut all that out. I was eating, like I said, bologna sandwiches and noodles. As long as my stomach was full, it wasn't a problem. I wasn't starving myself. I wasn't not getting food just so I can save to get a goal. I was still eating. It may not have been some salmon and rice and all this other stuff, but I was still eating. So sometimes you have to do stuff in order for you to save, or don't do stuff in order for you to save. I didn't go out with friends. Like I said, I didn't go out and eat fast food. I didn't go to little events. I didn't buy certain miscellaneous stuff like alcohol or getting my nails done and stuff like that. I've been recycling these wigs for I don't know how long. It's just like, you really have to put your mindset into saving. And I know saving is hard. Saving is hard for me. Trust me. Trust me. Saving is hard for me because I did mess up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did mess up in the midst of me saving. I bought an $800 dog. Yeah, I bought an $800 dog, and I was supposed to move in 3 months, and I bought me an $800 dog. Sometimes my mind just sees the money and it wants to spend it. It sees the money, man, and it wants to spend it, and then I ended up with an $800 dog. My second puppy was $800. So you're gonna have some setbacks, but don't beat yourself up, because you will reach your goal if you keep pushing yourself. After I bought that $800 dog, best believe I was paying for it, because I had to pull extra shifts, no days off, okay? So it's just like, yeah, you can beat yourself up about it, but you gotta get back up and do what you gotta do at the end of the day. You have to have discipline for yourself. And I know y'all looking at me like I'm crazy, because I just said I spent $800 on the dog, and I shouldn't have, but you have to have discipline on yourself. Like I said, you may have some slip ups, But at the end of the day, you can pick yourself back up. Okay, since I did this, now I gotta pull an extra 2 hours here. I gotta pull an extra 3 hours here. I gotta work this weekend off here. You gotta do what you gotta do to get what you want. And stay motivated. You have to stay motivated. What I did to stay motivated, like I was saying earlier, that mental thing, sharing stuff on Facebook or whatever you see on Instagram, making a physical vision board, making a vision board for your phone and putting it as your lock screen, or on your iPad, putting it on your iPad as your lock screen, or your computer, or whatever that you look at every day and you open up. I would put it as my lock screen, and then every time you look at it, I say, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it will all work out. You just have to set goals, save, be realistic, and have some discipline. Have some discipline and stay motivated, and then you will get what you want and need in life. That's with anything. That's not just with a luxury apartment. That's not just with your first apartment. You can use this method for your car, go out the country on a vacation, whatever you want to save for, whatever you want to get in life. Use this and set goals, stay motivated, and stay disciplined, and save to get to what you want. And I know some people say you shouldn't spend your whole life saving, but you can spend a little time of your life, like 3-4 months, saving to get to what you want. If you want that new car, you got to do it. If you want that new place, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. So that's how I saved for my luxury apartment within 3 months. Found the apartment, applied for the apartment in October, and I ended up moving in December. So yeah, in the beginning of October, and I moved in the beginning of December. So that's what I did to get my first luxury apartment. I know this was long, it was kind of rambling, but I'm just being realistic with you guys on what I've been through and how I did it. I wish I was able to make that cushion for myself and then move, rather than just moving because I had to. I really had to, but I wish I would have had the opportunity to really save to move. But like I said, you got to do what you got to do. If you can't save $5,000 before you move, you cannot save $5,000 before you move. Just do what you got to do to get out, okay? Do what you got to do to get out. Whatever your situation is, do what you got to do. That's all I got to say. As long as you happy, that's all that matters. Don't worry about nobody else. Focus on yourself. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be posting once a week, if not more than once a week. We're coming back to back to back with these videos, you guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos just like I'm enjoying editing and putting them out for you. Y'all stay safe, stay cautious, be aware of your surroundings, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
With these 2 3s on my feet got me